Well, there's little I find more entertaining than the pearl clutching of those in the Magic the Gathering community over their moi feminism and moi SJW-ness, and now, more accurately, them outing themselves as NPCs. And the cover of Chandra issue number 3 is out, and the NPCs are losing their mind because women are supposed to be invincible. Now, if you're not following this, I cover more comic book stuff over on my other channel, The Quartering, but IDW, one of the absolute worst publishing houses of comics, not that any of them are that great these days, had previously published Magic the Gathering comic book. And this year, they brought it back with Chandra, and they are now showing out their 3rd issue. And the book itself looks mediocre at best, but that's not what everyone's complaining about. No, it's the cover art and the fact that Chandra is not invincible. Now, you might be saying to me, Jeremy, that sounds a little hyperbolic. That sounds a little over the top. Wow, that's because it is. Let's take a look at just how some of these spurgs reacted. Here we have Balefire Strix, well-known feminist. It's even in her NPC title. Wrote a very long email to Wizards of the Coast about the IDW Chandra cover. I'm hoping they respond, but if not, here's the body of the email. I encourage you to make your voice. Oh my God, this is what you have to do with your life. You're worried about the message of cover art since you know nothing about the content of the book, but you're worried about the cover. And let's just take a look. My name is, it's kind of cut off. This is the best I have because she has protected tweets, and a loving fan sent this to me. I'm a Magic the Gathering content creator. No, you're not. Within the community. You write occasional anti-male pro-SJW articles. That's about it. And you've appeared in 3 Tolarian Community College videos, probably out of 1,000. I have written Card Kingdom's blog, deeply analyzing characters within the Magic story from a feminist perspective, I assume. I'm the co-host of the Lore-Goyfs, a story-focused podcast. I woke up this morning, saw a preview cover of IDW's comic book series about Chandra, and immediately felt angry, disgusted, and hurt. Chandra Nalaar is considered to be one of the most capable women in Magic story. She has led the rebellion on Kaladesh, fascists over Heliod, this will be hard to read, and burnt 2 Eldrazi Titans to cinders. To see her, I don't know what that word, shrinking away from her attacker is demeaning to her and the many women in the community who admire her. You don't even know any context. You know no context whatsoever. And then SJWs always have to bring up Z Kids. As recently as GP Denver, at least one girl who cosplayed as Chandra for the event. I've seen several whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've seen Wizards of the Coast make a concerted effort to depict women characters as complex, independent women who, while flawed, are not victims or subjugated to cover undoes much of the time, casts a large shadow of doubt whether capable writing for a modern audience. Wow. Let's see. Is extremely suggestive of assault and rap. That's right. How freaking mental are you? I'm going to show you the picture. Hold on. I'm going to show you the picture, and I want to know what's sexual about it at all. Chandra lying on the ground, beaten and defenseless against Tybalt, is upsetting, insensitive image for many women and men in the community who oh my God. I can't read any more of this idiot's hot take. Dumb. Let's get to the cover. Let's analyze the cover. Here we have Chandra laying down, Tybalt here, Now, this, I don't know what kind of sicko sees anything sexual about this, but apparently she does. They don't appear in any way to be fighting, in my opinion. If anything, you could say Tybalt took her from behind with like a cowardly attack. That's what this looks like to me. He's not even looking down at her. She's not looking back at him. There's no indication whether or not they're actually fighting. What if she was fighting something truly large and was getting defeated, and Tybalt comes out of nowhere to help? Now, if you're not a Magic the Gathering fan or player, you might not know who that guy back there is, and that's Tybalt. He's by far the weakest planeswalker in terms of cards in Magic history. He's always been kind of a joke. So what oversensitive NPCs are saying is that somehow, how could he possibly have defeated Chandra? She's so strong. Women could never get defeated by a man. Women are invincible. And to prove that this is the narrative, here we have the professor talking about there is no GD way weak-ass clown like Tybalt would ever cause Chandra freaking Nilar to break out in so much sweat, let alone get floored. Tybalt is a laughingstock villain. He's the worst Planeswalker card ever made. He should have been the fallen flat on his face here. Again, you don't know anything about what's going on. You know nothing about what is going on. I don't know why people even think. Yeah, here we have Green Goblin defeating Spider-Man, right? They are clearly fighting. People had the girl with the lotus tattoo. I mean, the girl tried to kill the God Dragon with fire of all things. My bar of expectation for her is low. I'm just glad they gave Tybalt something. Card aside, I love the character and always hope for more. I mean, there's nothing in this article. And again, you don't know, based on this cover, we don't know anything about what's going on. Maybe he betrayed her in some way. Maybe she was coming to help him and she was distracted and he defeated her. Now, by the way, this says not final cover, so it will be extraordinarily interesting. This will be an amazing study in the power of the vocal minority, because people who like comic books don't feel this way about this cover. They're both looking forward at something. They could be fighting something together. Only social justice warriors would see anything sexual about this image. Their minds are clearly warped. And the author, the illustrator of this book, if they make one single change to this, it's their fault. By the way, I didn't notice any copies of this comic book on the professor's shelf or on Baleful Strix's shelf. Because if there's one thing the absolute disaster of Marvel Comics sales are and DC Comics sales are, is that they finally have learned SJWs don't buy comics. You see a lot of high-selling gay Iceman comics, or the Antifa comics, or all these woke Squirrel Girl. You see these in the top 100? No, not often. Usually just issue 1. Or because of overships. I don't know where they get this opinion. There's nothing about this that's sexual at all, in my opinion. The only thing interesting about it is pointing and laughing at all the people overreacting to a comic book cover when the state of our game is in complete and utter chaos. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.